So theaters are pretty much going to get the axe. You can tell from moves like this. Disney, they're joining in with Warner, albeit a less aggressive strategy, with Disney promoting Disney Plus first. See, during Disney's Investor Day presentation, executives, they kept repeating three little words from everything from Pixar to Marvel: direct to consumers. Imagine being a theater out there struggling to survive, thinking, hey, if we make it to next year, then everything will go back to normal. And then having this stuff pop up, again from Disney, again from Warner, and on. I hope theaters remember this if they make it through. And yeah, let's talk about that today. So hey there, to all you wonderful folks, I hope you're having a fantastic day, because today, you and I, we are returning to that not-so-wonderful world of headlines, at least as far as theaters are concerned. When I see headlines like this too, coming from Disney, coming from Warner, I feel bad for theaters, because the very industry that they help enrich says, yeah, we're not in it to win it for everyone, we're in it to win it for ourselves. Now, unlike Warner Media, who is making these moves out of desperation, AT&T carrying $152 billion in debt, they only have 10 to 14 million people subscribed to HBO Plus that's supposed to save them. Disney, they're making these moves from a place of strength. You can see that in headlines like this, with Disney Plus hitting 86 million. I mean, think about that too. 86 million subscribers in a little over 1 year. To say that this thing is successful is an understatement, and I understand why Disney wants to pour more and more into it, because man, that is a lot of money. This is a new cash cow. But unfortunately, those mom and pop businesses out there that enriched this company, yeah, they're going to get left out in the cold. See, Disney's strategy is a little bit more insidious than, say, Warner Brothers. They're a smarter company after all, and they went out and delivered quote-unquote good news, telling the theaters, hey, we're the ones that provided nearly 40% of your 2019 box office, and we're going to still give you movies. Isn't that great? The problem is, at least for theaters, this is the thing that's going to end up ending them, is that Disney, they see theaters a little bit different right now. They're not saying that, mind you, but their presentations are. They're saying that they don't consider theaters an outlet for their premium content anymore. Quote, here's what Disney didn't say. It didn't say theaters were the premium outlet for Disney's content. In fact, the presentations made almost no effort to differentiate theatrical releases from those movies and series that will premiere on Disney+. That's what it's all going to wind up. The better to achieve stream brand penetration, a word Disney executives used with the same enthusiasm once reserved for content. My, how things have changed. My, how the giants have turned their back on the very thing that needs their help. Now, it's amazing how fast they just, boom, shut it all off. See, what Disney did say, and repeatedly, is this: direct-to-consumer, or DTC. They said it over and over again, like a mantra they were chanting, and you know what? It was met with thunderous applause. Theaters, they better pay close attention to this. The Directors Guild of America, they need to tune in too, and actors and so on, because this isn't a limited problem. See, all of these folks, they're tuning into Warner Brothers, because Warner, they went out, and they pretty much announced that they're in it for themselves. But Disney is more insidious, because Disney, they're building a monopoly there. They're going to have 100 million subscribers soon. They're aiming for 250 million within the next couple of years, and you know what? They'll probably get it. When they build that, who do you think's going to set the terms and conditions? It's not going to be all the people making movies. It's not going to be the theaters. Oh no. See, spelled out, or acronym, it means Disney's preferred method of delivery is the one that goes straight to subscribers. The theater's primary supplier now considers them middlemen, indirect consumers, if you will. Now, Disney continually banged that proverbial gong too. In a presentation the media is calling a quote-unquote 4-hour coming out party with 2 10-minute intermissions. And look at all the brands that are spoken for here. You see Marvel, of course. They're going to lock down Marvel. They're going to basically be able to set the terms and conditions to everything that comes out. They're going to do the same thing with Pixar. They're going to do the same thing with Star Wars and Nat Geo, with their first priority being to serve Disney Plus, to serve Hulu, to serve ESPN and their international brand Star. Essentially, they're serving themselves. And if people don't think that that's going to impact the quality of things, if you don't think that things are basically going to go down that road that you don't want, yeah, imagine everything created under the roof with Disney, people not being incentivized to create better products. Yeah, I mean, really, what's going to happen there? See, theaters, they're going to be valued in this, but at Disney's discretion. Quote, "We're all about flexibility," says the new Disney CEO. All about flexibility indeed. See, I imagine their flexibility, kind of like that person that pushes up to the table, they consume and consume and consume until they need an adjustable waistline, and they'll do that to the detriment of others. And that's the problem, the detriment to others. And we're not just talking about theaters. We're not just talking about actors or the Directors Guild. We're talking about us too, because the product itself is not right now controlled solely by these corporations. You have a lot of ways to dictate the terms. When it becomes a streaming product, you won't. You think things look bad now? Yeah, wait till that happens. Then people will totally regret this decision. Now, what's fascinating about all of this is you can see the proverbial wheels turning at Disney as Disney watches what's going on with Warner. They want to see what kind of a disaster that turns out to be. And yeah, if it shapes up well for Warner, or they have certain lessons to learn from it, they're going to take that and they're going to do the same thing. Quote, "This comes on the heels of Warner Brothers' paradigm-shattering announcement that all 17 releases scheduled for 2021 will go day and date in theaters and on HBO Max in the U.S. Disney, they didn't do the same. It said key upcoming titles like Black Widow, like The Eternals, they're going to be quote-unquote in theaters. Missing from that declaration, this is important in that too, were the words only and exclusively, as well as any assurance that the films would hew to traditional theatrical windows. So you may well see the same thing that Warner pulled off, but again, Disney right now, they're being met with this from theaters. They're being met with this from the people that could go out, set terms, because they're all focused on the wrong company. Now, as a consumer of movies, if you think that this won't impact you, it's just for the theaters and other businesses and on, yeah, think again. See, Disney, they learned a valuable lesson, and they learned it from Mulan. They learned that people would pay a high price for something. That movie, by the way, cost $30. Now, right now, you have the first major release, Raya and the Last Dragon. It's going to be dropped, and it's going to be dropped at no cost to subscribers. That's the first one out there. But this is a brand builder. This won't be available in theaters. It's available exclusively there. It's because they're building up their service. The problem arises after the success of brand building. And you see this all the time. And make no mistake that Disney, they are going to be successful in this attempt to brand build. They've already been ultra successful. People see this as them getting free products, and that it's not going to last. They've already told you. And what do you think's going to happen when theaters and other competition fall? Quote, "Last month's earning call hinted that more would be revealed about the financials surrounding Mulan. This information is vital for determining which model works." So when they're talking about models, again, they're talking about whether you're going to pay $30 for a movie or you're going to get it for free. Again, when they max out their services, when they already have you subscribed, what do you think they're going to turn to? They're going to turn to a pay-per model. They've told you this. Every film is a data point. The thing is, when they're questioned about this, they're pretty much mum on the idea. But as a publicly traded company, you know how they're going to go out and they're going to handle it. They're going to bilk you for every dollar. They haven't told you that they're going to give you anything for free either. They'll just do that right now. And people, yeah, they're eating it up. The craziest thing about all of this is that the statements from Warner, the statements from Disney, they don't just apply to theaters either. They apply to us as well. Here's the CEO of Disney acknowledging that Disney's $13 billion in 2019's box office revenue, it was nothing to sneeze at. But they add this. For us, it's about balance. That balance, it's whatever Disney thinks best suits its purpose. They're going to go out. They're going to eliminate theaters. That's the same thing that Warner is doing. They're cutting costs. They're giving themselves better opportunities, making more money out of it. They're cutting out the quote-unquote middleman. After they do that, again, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to charge you more than you ever saw at the theaters. They've already set that down. They've already told you that. But again, people, they're too busy thinking that they're getting some type of freebie. And maybe they are now, but in the future, yeah, you'll pay for it. So yeah, these folks, they definitely do want to eliminate that. They want to eliminate other speed bumps as well. People, they either need to do something or, well, it's going to be too late. And I think it's too late, honestly. Maybe that sounds negative, but I really do think it's too late now. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff possible. If you want to support the channel too, there are links in the description. Definitely check those out. But subscribe, comment, share these videos. That feeds the beast out there too. And yeah, you got to feed the beast. But anyway, thank you, and I'll see you soon.